Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Jeff, and today we are playing some Jund Hot Springs. Guys, I'm really excited for this. So Invigorating Hot Springs is a card that I got super excited for when it was previewed, and for whatever reason just slipped through the cracks afterwards. I just forgot about it completely. And then I think I watched MTG Goldfish's video on Cruel Hot Springs and got me really excited for it. I totally forgot that this was a card that existed, but it is super powerful and I think very, very beneficial for our deck here. So Invigorating Hot Springs, a 3-mana enchantment, and it enters the battlefield with 4+++ encounters on it, and modified creatures you control have haste. You can remove a +++ encounter from it and put a +++ encounter onto a target creature you control, so it becomes modified. Any modified creature will have haste, and so that it can then attack it. And you can only activate it as a sorcery and only once each turn. So you play this out on turn 3. The next turn, you're able to play out a creature that can go in with haste and hit in for damage on turn 4, and it'll be a little bit bigger. So things like Bloodvial Purveyor, this is a card I've been wanting to make work in like a mid-rangey type of deck for so long, but there's just so many other good cards that I'm like, I'm not sure if it's better than just playing Halanas and other things, or just playing it in black. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna be throwing out more removal, and this is slow, and so it dies almost immediately, so you don't get the value from it. But if we can put Invigorating Hot Springs counter onto it the turn it comes out on turn 4, which is on curve with what we're trying to go for here, then on turn 4, Bloodvial Purveyor comes out. It's a, we put a counter onto it, becomes a 6/7. If we have Thundering Raiju, Halanas, other things out in the battlefield, whatever we're trying to do with this deck, then we can just go crazy with this. And that's where Halana is also here for, is that it can also give haste. And what we've found in the past when I was doing the Jund modified deck a long time ago was that going Kalain on turn 2 into Halana on turn 3, and then anything else from that point on, it's just so fast. It's so busted. It outpaces Meat Hook Massacre, which is a very big deal, and you can usually kill them or get close to killing them before they go off with the board wipes, which then we have enough hasty threats, especially with Figuring Hot Springs. We have enough hasty threats that we should be able to win the game, even if they do have board wipe before we get them down to 0. And that's what I've been finding with this deck, is that it does that very, very well and is really cool. So yeah, we have Bloodvial Purveyor, we have Thundering Raiju because we are putting counters onto things. We do want modified creatures, and this allowing a lot of our other creatures that typically aren't hasty, which typically aren't quite powerful enough, to suddenly become very, very powerful, very aggressive, and awesome. So things like Bloodchief Berserker, which I think is a perfect modified card. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put 2 counters onto this, it gains menace until end of turn. And so it's a 2-mana 1/1. There are times, because we are playing a lot of 4-drops here, like we have 8 4-drops and then not as many 3-drops, so that we can try to focus on being able to play 2 things at once. Kalain helps us with that as well, being able to play this out with a lot of 1-drops that we have, that we should be able to trigger this. If it hits the battlefield on turn 2, I'm hoping to trigger it twice before the game is over, unless it dies before then or whatever, which then it takes up the focus of targeted removal before we get to these guys anyway. And so I'm not having this be a massive focus of like, this is the thing that needs to be getting counters onto it. We need to make sure that happens. It's just another really powerful effect. If it ever does get 2 counters onto it with a second spell, it has menace until end of turn, which is a really big deal. And we have quite a few instant speed removal spells that we do need to hold onto for this deck anyway. Graveyard Trespassers that we might want to not cast stuff to get it to become nighttime, so we can get a little bit more damage. This just becomes really powerful. Graveyard Trespasser also really good with Invigorating Hot Springs, where we can have it hit the battlefield, exile something from the graveyard, they lose 1 life, gain 1 life, and then if we can give it haste on the same turn, it becomes a 4/4, attacks in, we get to do it again. If it's on the flip side, it becomes even more powerful. So just be able to do that multiple times, we just get in for lots of extra damage with this deck. We get to be really hasty with this, and so Invigorating Hot Springs, I've been really, really excited for. I've been testing out, I ended up building like 15 decks, trying to figure out what to do. I think, yeah, let's just go ahead and show you guys. Like, I think I built like, yesterday I ended up building like, let's see, yeah, from here to here. So this many decks, trying to find a lot of different things I wanted to build, but they ended up almost all being like the exact same deck, just with a little tweaks and stuff. And I want to be giving you guys new, fresh content. So I might have a few decks that come out here soon that are somewhat similar, but for the most part, there are several of those that are very unique, very different. I built so many decks to try to make these things work, and this version has been working very, very well for me. So I'm excited to show it to you guys. Let's go dive into the gameplay. Let's see how it does for us, and wish me luck. Here we go. All right, up against our twist, and we don't really have any of our enablers, but we have removal into good 3-drops into a really powerful 4-drop. So I'm going to keep this. This is just a good mid-range hand. And that's what I like about this deck, actually, is that we have the ability to go mid-range if we want to. We have the ability to go aggro if we want to, oftentimes. I want to kill that. It has ward, so I can't actually kill it. So we're going to go Kumano. But if I want to bolt myself for this, this can only be red, and I need a double black for what I have in hand. So we are paying 3 here. It's going to hurt a little bit. Is this mono white? This isn't a card we typically see, but it is a good card. Each creature you control has ward when it flips to the other side, and it's just a 2/1 first strike flyer. Decent. So yeah, I think... yeah, just first strike is annoying for us. That's tapped land. Put this on. Now I'm not sure if I want it on black, because I do have the Hive, and I need double red at some point too. I think what we're doing is we're putting this on Kodama to try to fix our mana base a little bit more. It's a 4/4. Hopefully they don't have removal here. If they do, we can Kami's Flare, hopefully get it back from like a Brutal Cathar or something. But we'll do what we can. The dream is that they don't have the removal. Adeline wouldn't be amazing for this to see play here, though. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they got. We don't have ways to put counters onto things is the biggest issue. Redain. Ooh. What's the counter there? That is annoying. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Oh, that's a good draw. Okay. And I think I just need to kill the Redain. I want to see how they block here. So I have Kami's Flare into Play with Fire, kill this. They have First Strike, so Kumano can't attack in with this at the moment. I'm trying to think if there's any way that they can block where it would be unbeneficial for us, and I don't really think so. So I think I'm attacking all in right now. Trying to create as many blocks as possible here in trade-offs. If they block with the Chaplain of Alms, then we hit here. Kami's Flare can get enough damage dealt to this as well that... yeah, we can figure it out. Ooh, they let everything through. I'm fine with that too. All right, so we need green mana. We have double black, double red. Green mana. Now I can just play out the Graveyard Trespasser. But I definitely do want to kill something. I'm just debating what now. Redain is annoying. I think what I do is I use Play with Fire onto Luminarch. And I hold up the Kami's Flare, or whatever they play next turn. Redain is annoying, and now I don't have a way to just straight up kill it, but having a 4/4 fly with reach is going to be good against this too. Being able to hit our land drops to get it a little bit ahead, super, super good. All right, Intrepid Adversary, wait till they pay for it. They go for the pay, and then we kill. Booyah. Down to 11. Invigorating Hot Springs is quite good. It makes us a 5... I don't think it's the right play, though. I think it is just Bloodvial Purveyor. Get them to start building up Blood Vials, which does help them with draws, but that means that I get to hit in for tons of damage on the next turn. So if I swing with Kodama, they can double block to kill it. I get to get rid of one of them, which is just Redain. Is that actually worthwhile? Because I have great defenders. So, but being able to have the trample is nice. I think it is better to go ahead and go for the trade here. I'm just trying to kill Redain. If they have another Redain in hand, it's not great for us, but getting rid of their flying blocker, I'm down for right now. We have a pretty decent hand to do stuff with this. This means that creatures go in the graveyard for the Trespasser. If not, awesome. We gotta grab lands. Lands are the bestest. Our black source. We have Hive the Eye Tyrant online. So we have the potential just to win the game here, especially if Purveyor gets enough blood vials to be hitting in really hard over the top. And no creatures in the graveyard makes this Trespasser a little bit awkward. I want the extra value of being able to exile things. Oh, man. Arm is just like itching like crazy right now. Not itching, I don't know. Do you guys ever just get like sore in this area? Both my arms get that way all the time. Anyway. I can just hear the jokes of like, you know why that is, right? All right, anyway. Bloodsky Berserker actually is better with the Menace here. I think it actually gives us a chance for lethal. So we're going to go Bloodsky Berserker. Because they had to put an extra counter onto Purveyor. Invigorating Hot Spring. So they could have a Wandering Emperor. That ain't great. Where do I want this counter to go? I can put onto the Kumano, and then they can't block aggressively here. They can... Yeah, Wanderer doesn't become very powerful at all. If they have Wandering Emperor, they're killing the Bloodvial Purveyor, for sure. So I think I want to buff up my other parts of the team more. Fateful Absence, they could have March of Other Really Light. Lots of things. This also gives us Trample, which is nice with Kodama. This already has Trample, so I'm not worried there. So yeah, I think life is pretty good. I do like it. Removing the Kodama gets rid of the Trample, which they might need to stay alive. Back in. Haven't cast anything yet, so we don't get any buff there. I mean, yeah, I'm really liking this card. It's really sweet. I'm not sure if it should be a 4 of. This is a deck I built to try to play the 4 of so we could see it more often to see how well it works for us. But yeah, I'm liking how it's playing out. Blocks the Kumano. Have to block more than that. They already went to blocks, which means Wandering Emperor still is a little bit funky here. This has Menace, so they can't block that. Nope, it has Menace. They didn't activate Cave when they could have. Ah, there it is. All right. Felt like something was coming. I just wasn't sure what. I mean, obviously, something's coming. All right. I only get one more land out of the deck. I don't have that many of them. But lands out of the deck is nice. Hopefully we find more action that way. Yeah, maybe I could have more than just the 3 basic lands here. I don't know, though. Our deck wants to have more action in it. And I want to be a little bit more consistent with my mana base. So, yeah, we only have one of these. It's really not that big of a deal. This is still plenty of lands. Hive the Eye Tyrant will be sweet for next turn. Good things. Or whatever we need to do. Anything in the graveyard. We have one creature to be able to get with this. Dude, Blade Historian. This is a card I feel like a lot of people forgot about. It's such a good card, but it's not played nearly often enough, in my opinion. In my professional opinion. All right, so we're looking for 2 cards to play, so Berserker gets bigger and has Menace again. I don't think they have an answer for that if we do that. We get to actually win before anything else happens because we can put a counter to this, give it haste, exile 2 creatures that are in the graveyards now. Life is amazing. How did that get into the graveyard? We didn't kill it. It got discarded somehow, but I'm not seeing how it got discarded. I'm quite confused. Did they learn with something and discard it? I'm not seeing the learn ability anywhere. Whatever. It's us down to 9. Taking their sweet old time trying to figure out if there's any way out of this. Yeah, good game. Wandering Emperor. I knew they had the Wandering Emperor. Expected that. The right play here is, yeah, to get rid of the Kodama. If we find 2 spells to play, we did not. So we can't play the Hive of the Eye Tyrant as well, can we? We can. So we can play both. So play out Graveyard Trespasser. Get rid of Blade Historian. We have Hive of the Eye Tyrant, and we have the counter onto Trespasser, which is all sorts of game over for them. All right, so our graveyard, we want to hit this. Down to 2. Anything will kill them. Good stuff. Yeah, so hitting all those lands and being able to get to the Hive of the Eye Tyrant did actually give us the game here, so that was sweet. Good game. Oh man, fun stuff. Surprised they played the Wandering Emperor at that point. They, like, based off what they had on board, they had a chance to survive that. They also have they had Cave of the Frost Dragon as well, potentially. So surprised they went that route. Good stuff. Guys, we are up against one evil parrot. And I like having Kalain on turn 2. And so that means I probably won't be able to get out Kumano. We'll see how we draw with our lands, but I really like this hand. This is perfect. Invigorating Hot Springs into Kumano if you wanted to for the turn 3. Ooh, even better. All right, yeah, so we're definitely going the Glade here first. All right, up against Mono Red, it looks like. All right, another Kumano. And no creature. Good signs a little bit, at least. All right, so go Kalain. And I think I'm holding off to play anything else here. Yeah, just the Kumano is not quite good enough. I want to be able to get the counters onto this Berserker if I can. And then maybe Hot Springs the next turn? We'll see. I could also go Kumano and Trespasser. Gives it haste, gets a swing in, no blocks, lots and lots of damage. All right, so Boseiju can be pretty nice for us. What's our best route? We have 2 2-drops. We have this guy with the treasure into... I don't know why it's not holding up mana for Kumano. Dude, the auto tapper is so stupid so often. It really makes me angry. All right, so tap, and yeah, we're gonna go Trespasser. We can do Hot Springs on the next turn. See, I won't be able to play 2 things that way, though. I would like to be able to get the counters onto this Berserker. And so I think what we do is actually we go... Yeah, Bloodsky Berserker without the counters on it this time. We're just going to make it a 3/3. It's going to be a little bit awkward, but that makes other things be a little bit bigger on the next turn. And this also lets us play 2 spells on the next turn as well. So we have a legendary creature, so we can actually kill the Kumanos if we need to. Fast turn. We're hoping we can survive the damage for 2 more turns and be able to start flipping around. We need to get stuff in the graveyard for this Trespasser to help us out with.
This little candle's gonna set your world on fire.
Deals damage to our face. Yep, not great, but we should be able to stop these Kumanos from hitting in.
Looking a little singed.
Yep. Gets the damage through there. All right, so they're going to attack him with these 2, is my assumption. So we can double block on the Stormseeker. Stopping them from being able to gain haste is actually a pretty big deal. Getting this to a 5/5 can be very useful for us though. So yeah, we're gonna block like this. All right, so they keep the Kalain alive, which is actually pretty good for us still. They put stuff into the graveyard, at least one creature. All right, so play out Boseiju. We are gonna play out. Can I get out the Hot Springs this turn? I think I just need 2 blockers. So we're gonna black, green, play you out. I would rather have the Trespasser get the counter here. Yeah, there we go. And I got the extra counter from Kumano as well. Yeah, so perfect. Chandra's the biggest thing we have to deal with now. No attacks, past turn. We are at 10. They can probably have burn. You're going semi-wide. But we were able to build up and have a way to gain life. Things are good. So what we're looking for now, I think, is removal that we can play. A play with fire would be awesome.
Think of something good.
So that we can hopefully build up to this adversary as well. Actually, anything with red mana, we won't be able to play the Invigorating Hot Springs. Yeah, so we actually don't want anything with red mana off the top. Does not attack. Oh man, more red mana things. Huzzah. All right, Invigorating Hot Springs, go. Our stuff gets haste. I like having the Kumano so these guys actually don't get to deal damage to us when they die. I do want to hit in at Chandra and at least have something go to the graveyard so Trespasser can then exile it later. So I think it's Berserker is the one I'm wanting to attack in with. I'm debating if I want to just put the counter here still though, so I have a better blocker. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. So we're gonna send you at Chandra. They might just take it here. I don't think they care to get to the ultimate, and it will still build a +1. So we're letting down our guard quite a bit. Sweet. All right, I would much prefer the double blocks. Ah, and they forgot that things get exiled. What a fool. They thought they would kill it with the Fireblade Charger. Oops. Oopsies. Come on, Shame Scoop. You know you want to. You know you want to. Exiles an extra card. Adversary, nothing in the graveyard. Oh, that's gotta feel bad. Yeah, you still pay for it to get the counter onto it. Absolutely. Counter there. Oh man, are they gonna forget about the Flameblade Charger again? Okay. All right, man, we really need to find another red source. This has been the issue with my mana base right now, is that there are some things that cost 2, and maybe I have too many pathways. Adversary. The one issue is that everything dying means that Trespasser actually doesn't get in for enough to make things trade off, quite like we'd like to. Can't play the second spell to get this even bigger. Sad day. Let's go ahead and put the counter there. I can trade off with anything very easily. Let's send some stuff at Chandra. Them not being on the top deck as well is a very important thing for us. So actually killing this is super important, but we have to keep back blockers. We'll go like that. I want to hold on to this Kumano as long as they have the Flameblade Chargers out. Goes for the trade. Takes a 4 on Chandra. Perfect. We're not killing it, but doing what we can for now. And keeping their board getting... If their board keeps getting smaller than ours, perfect, perfect, perfect. Goro. All right, they don't have anything modified. That's very good. Royal Eruption kills that. Now they can do some more things with the Flameblade Charger. They don't have anything to discard, and so that actually hurts us a little bit here. The Kalain can let us fix our mana one time, which is why I have it in here, but the issue is it only fixes it one time. We do have quite a few of these dual lands or dual colored lands, but I also want to play fast enough so I have several of the pathways in too. So we jump like this. We want to keep our life total as high as possible. They target our face. Yeah, down to 8. Come on. Come on, come on. All right, so... I can cast 2 spells. I would love to be able to cast this again later. They don't have any modified creature. That doesn't mean it can't come later. So killing the Goro is probably better than the etching. So kill you. Adversary, get 2 more counters onto Bloodchief Berserker. Now it has Menace, which means this definitely is dying. Put it a counter here. I think just as a blocker. I'm going to send these 2 guys there. What's the best thing for us? For them to double block there, right? They can kill Graveyard Trespasser by double blocking. How low is our life total? Thinking. I don't need to be too greedy here. This is our best way to gain life against them. They do have stuff in the graveyard now. Let's just try to kill Chandra. Yeah, they definitely don't double block.
It gotta burn even brighter.
Especially because I have a way to put a counter onto this on the next turn to keep us safe. I'm just going to hold off. No reason to be dumb about this. So our guy flips around as well. I'm definitely fine with the trade-off now. Man, they get trample as well. All right, so gain 2 life, deal 2 to them. Huge. Down to 10. Do we have a creature as well? No. That's right, because they still have their Kumano. Another Reckless Stormseeker. Yikes, 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 yikes. Okay, that's a big hit. Although, if they go too aggressive here, we can swing back for the win. If we could find the red mana for the Thundering Raiju, it'd be even better. Swings in for 6. That puts 1 more creature to the graveyard. They kill ours, but 1 more creature to the graveyard. There we flip and go. Thundering Raiju. Okay, do I have lethal? How much do they have to block? Okay, opponent scoops it up. Yeah, we would have been able to do 2 points of damage beforehand, which means they would have to block 2 things, and yeah, good stuff. All right, we have all of our colors. I like it. Keep this. Ranger class and Takami's Flare. We do need to find the 3rd land. We are a little bit light on lands for this deck, and Kodama is a little bit funky. But we still do have 3 basic lands, and if we can get those out, Kodama was so worth it. If we can just, make those things happen, life is phenomenal. All right, Ranger class over Kumano, I believe, because it can at least get counters onto itself, start going off. Hopefully. Cool. Ooh, cool. Fading Hope is such a good card. The scry that it gives as well is pretty powerful. Oh, we did not find the 3rd land, and that's probably game. We're going to be a little bit too slow if we don't find the 3rd land. I have, I think, 23 lands with an MDFC, and then Kalain to help us get up a little bit more ramp. Jugan as well to help us get some ramp there. Yeah, it's maybe a little bit light on land, but I wanted to be able to have enough spells to cast to make Bloodsky be able to cast 2 spells at once in the early game, and then we get to this stuff potentially with a Kalain or something like that on turn 4, and then turn 5 we find the land for the 4th mana, which is fairly consistent to do something like that. Finds the lands. The issue is that we don't have a way to draw, so it's really not that great for us, really at all. Swarm Shambler go, counter onto it. All right, that's a decent card for us, unless they have Crush the Weak. Then we're in all sorts of trouble. Come on, land. Please, oh please. If we can go land into Kodama with Swarm Shambler and this hitting in, pretty decent shape. Smoldering Egg. Now we won't be able to hit in. Right. Crush the Weak. Oh, so much pain. Well, that's something. Something we can do. No attacks, pass turn. Yikes. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Crush the weak again. Everything dies. Yep. Smoldering gets bigger. Oh yeah. Alright, I think what we're playing is Kodama here. And then we're going to go Invigorating Hot Springs and Ranger class maybe to get it up there, or whatever we can find. Hopefully this doesn't have Fading Hope, because then we're in so very much trouble. 2 lands, can't do anything. Dude, okay, we didn't find lands, but we should have found lands a long time ago at this point. Like, we are a little bit light on lands, but not this light. That is ridiculous. Come on. Attack in. So they can kill the Smoldering Egg. If they have Fading Hope, we're in trouble. Not letting us find lands is a pretty big deal. They probably shouldn't let us find this one here. All right, what are we needing? A second red source. Being able to have this play for both sides would be better. So I think we grab a green or black source first. Let us play Kalain into what? So I think I want the black source. Rough stuff. We might be able to turn the corner here if they are running light on anything else. They already got rid of their Crush the Weaks. There's Mari Command. It's the Ashmoth Dragon, so now they cast anything that Kodama dies. Yeah. Yeah. There's Mari Command number 2. Yeah. Oh, this is brutal. All right, we need to add more lands before I play anymore. I'm trying to think of what I cut to add more lands, but we really, really need more lands. Maybe 1 Bloodsky Berserker. It's a really good 2-drop, but like, I don't think I want tons of them. So, we're gonna drop 1 Bloodsky Berserker for 1 more land of some sort here, and then we'll come back to the next game. All right, now we're up against Lawless Omega, and this is better. We now have 25 lands in the deck, which makes a lot more sense if we're really trying to hit our 4-drops. The Kalain will also help us get there. It means we're going to have less spells, but I got rid of 1 of the Bloodsky Berserker, so that's... Again, we just want that to happen eventually, some of the time. All right, Kalain is awesome here for this. Kalain into Halana, so good. Into Invigorating Hot Springs on the turn after. Ooh, the lolly. So, so beautiful. All right, opponent. What you doing there? Got their Jukai coming out, or they're worried about it being killed with the Play with Fire. Kami of Transience. Okay. We do have the ability to kill this now before they do anything else. I can play Kumano and Play with Fire, get the counter onto Kalain all by itself. And that, yeah. This just comes back as the issue, but letting it get big when they have tons of spells in hand is super scary. So we're gonna go ahead and just play this a little bit safer. Yep, kill you, pass turn. And now I'm hoping for some sort of 1-drop. A Swarm Shambler would be amazing. Yeah, Swarm Shambler is what we're looking for. Rune of Sustenance. All right, anytime they're having to hit runes onto their own stuff is really good sign. All right, we have all of our colors. Life is amazing. Things are good. All right, so I could go for, let's see here. Hot Springs this turn could actually be really powerful, but we're going to go for the Kalain into Halana. Playing this a little bit slower, but still good. Still looking for a 1-drop off the top now. Boseiju kills here. Dude, giving me lands? Okay, then. Let's see. I have double of everything except green. Yes. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Rockfall Vale, go. Play out Halana with the counter. Didn't find a 1-drop or a 2-drop. That was what we were really hoping for. Now we're actually a little bit heavy on lands, but still really, really good. Counters onto Kalain. Swing in for 5. Yeah. Down to 14. Pass turn. All right, runes can still go off. Let's see if they have, you know, they've been able to draw plenty of cards just recently. Bloodvial Purveyor comes out and gets buffed by Halana to hit in for damage, and that's actually really close to lethal. Can't hit the Halana. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So good. I really want to get this Invigorating Hot Springs out sooner than later, though. Draws cards. Surprised I didn't do that beforehand. Yeah, unfortunately can't play both of these, but that's fine. Purveyor. Anytime they cast spells, which this is a deck that's all about casting lots of spells, means that we get more damage. This is actually one of the reasons I like Bloodvial Purveyor. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily stop the runes deck, but I've seen this do work against it. It's a great blocker, so just like a quick board building. If they just get like the full-on one-shot kill with Michiko, all this stuff, then we can't quite do it. But this can easily win the game for us just by them putting out tons of blood tokens, and then we get to hit back for tons of damage the next turn. Even if they gain life, it can oftentimes win the game. It dies, though. It does die to things. Hot Springs, and then go. Good game. Yep. Oh, I'm glad I was actually at 3. I forgot to check to make sure I actually had lethal there, but yeah, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Alrighty, pretty awesome hand here. We only have one actual creature, but Kalain's a little bit awkward when we don't have as many creatures to be playing with it, but Jugan and Invigorating Hot Springs get stuff going here. We have plenty of action to be doing. Life is good. I like it. Some mana fixing is what I'm saying. We got what we gotta. I gotta stop talking. I have no clue what I'm saying. I keep like stumbling over my words so bad today. Oh goodness. Reminder, cut this out. Oh wait, never mind. I don't. Oh man. Go Kalain. Go. Pass turn. Yeah, so Jugan on the next turn to help us be ramping up. Counters and Invigorating Hot Springs the turn after. Or Ranger class. Yeah, we got tons of things to do. All right, attack in. Down to 19, pass turn. Dude, I really like Jugan. Defends the temple. I'm wondering if I want more of these. I like how well it ramps up, and even if it does die, it still just does good things. Like it creates 2 bodies for 3 mana. One of the bodies, yeah, it's just a 1/1 elf that ramps up, but on turn 3, ramping is still really good. If we have any other creatures on the battlefield, suddenly those become a little bit more powerful. Like this just by itself creates so much power on the battlefield. That I've been really impressed with this card. It doesn't necessarily win games straight up because it's a little bit slow, but if you have a good shell around it, it is oftentimes a thing that finishes off games. Come on, removal. All right, well, we're not getting our removal, but we have the ability to go aggro, which might be good enough. All right, so we're gonna go Hot Springs. I would love to find removal so I can use this adversary. I don't really want to use the treasure on the Ranger class itself, because we're losing out on some counters that we can put on here. Ranger class is decent for the next turn as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and put Bloodthirsty Adversary out on the battlefield. I guess I could have tapped here and not used the treasure, saved it for the next turn, but whatever. All right, so they can likely get really big. If they have Runa of Sustenance, we're in trouble. I think right now we're just going to go aggro, which means I'm fine trading off right now. Swing all in. Next turn we get Ranger Class. I'm going to put tons of counters onto it. It will have haste. All the damage in the world. Life is good. This is where we want Kodama or Curses of Hospitality. Well, we don't have Curse of Hospitality in this one. I try to avoid playing all the same things I play in all my other decks. But be able to have Trample with such a big board is huge. Good stuff. Boseiju. All right, we get a land at least. That is annoying. I think we're needing more black mana in general. We have red mana here, so yeah, we can kind of... We have plenty of all of the colors now. So yeah, when I made the shift, I went down one Bloodsky Berserker, which we aren't seeing as much now, which is a big deal. One Bloodsky Berserker, and also I think one Kami's Flare. So we have a little bit less removal, but we have a lot more consistent mana, which is huge. All right, so put this out on red. Ranger class. I think we just need really big dudes, right? And then Remnant can be a massive dude later. So I think right now I'm just going to play X5 for this. Just like we can pay for the Ranger class and stuff on the next turn if we don't find anything off the top. But just having a 7/7 means that they're going to be half in a stone wall for forever. And as long as this can get through over the top, good stuff. The issue is if they can go off like crazy here and get Rune of Sustenance onto this and get it big enough to go through our 7/7. But we'll definitely double block to kill this at that point. To get rid of a Rune of Sustenance off the board. They just want to go for trades. Totally fine with that too, though. Yeah, so just if we keep all of our creatures on the board, upgrading Ranger class and attacking with this turns it into a 7/7 with trample, which will then be even bigger. They found the flippin' Rune of Sustenance. All right, good for you, finding flipping everything. Do they attack in? We get really close to lethal just with the Remnant here. We find an Invigorating Hot Springs. I think we do have lethal. So that's what we're looking for. If they don't attack in. Yeah, they're going to attack in. They get to bring back Kami again. So they gain 9. They go up to 20. How close are we to the lethal? So putting the counter onto here means that we get... this will be an 8/8 hitting in for sure. They block here. We have... Nah, we need to keep our life total just high enough. They don't have anything in instant speed, do they? Hope not. All right, double block. Keep our life total higher. They get to go back to 20. We don't get to build up our Remnant. Right, I should have blocked with the Kalain, but it doesn't matter because they wouldn't have killed it. All right, so Ranger class. Making sure I still have double red. Okay, yeah, good stuff. Raiju. X1. We are going to go ahead and put the free counter there. I have an extra counter with Thundering Raiju and Ranger class, but might as well let myself go aggro. Yeah, we're going to go full on aggro. Attack all in. Counter there. Now it gets buffed up. Ranger class. I think also the flyer. We just want the flyer to be really big so we can win on the next turn. And that's lethal. Boom, bam, baby. Love it. All right, guys. Sorry, I don't have my MTG assistant up right now. They changed up my contract with me, and so I'm switching up how I'm using that stuff a little bit. Here's what I have shown. Yeah, I won quite a few. There's one game where the game just crashed 3 times in the middle of the game, and so I'm not showing it. Opponent did win, but ultimately this deck has performed really well. Like I said, I think I was 3-0 beforehand, and then we lost 2 and won 4 more. So 7-2 is phenomenal stats for this. So yeah, the deck is really powerful. adding in the lands made it a lot more consistent. Very, very much better. We didn't really get to see a few of the cards I'd like to have seen more of. Swarm Shambler would have been nice to see a bit more of. You know, a lot of these we have 3 ofs because we definitely want to be getting up to Hot Spring into this stuff. I think that the right way to play this is probably to go down 1 Hot Springs, go up 1 Jugan. Maybe down to 2 of and have 1 more Trespasser, but I'm not sure if we want that. I think that'd be pretty powerful. Just having 3 of, this is something we want to find, but we don't really want 2 of it in our hand ever. And the typical way that you do this is like, if you want to find 1 of them, then throughout a game, you know, up to 5 cards, having 3 of gives you a decent chance to find 1 of in the top 10 cards of your deck, something like that. Like if you have 4 of, then you have a higher chance of finding 2 of in the top 10. Down to 2 is you only really ever want to find 1 of. You don't really ever want to find 2 of. Where this one, I would be okay finding 2 of after like 12 cards or something like that. And so having 3, I think, is right. Jugan as a 2 of. Anyway, there's a lot of things that are pretty good with this, and where it's just like I'm trying to make all of the things fit in well together, and so it's hard to really make it work all the time. But that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.